Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of New Strength Sugar Babes. We've got a sugar babe all the way from South Australia. How old are you, Tamalyn?
I've just turned 50 in May last year. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
You're in the 50s. I just did a interview with the lovely Kim, and she's in her 50s. We've got quite a lot of women actually in their 50s in the program. Tamalyn has a son, but he's older. He's in his 20s. So a lot of the women in our program have kids. So Tamalyn, tell the viewers, why did you join the program? What was the main reason you joined WinAtLife?
The main reason was probably I had just turned 50, because it was a couple of weeks after I turned 50. And I think I'd just been doing a lot of thinking. I'd been like pre-menopausal for a long time. And I was like really low. Like even now I look back and I didn't realise actually how low, like depressed, low I was. I wasn't sleeping. I was like totally exhausted. I'd sleep maybe 5 hours a night. It didn't matter what I did. My body shape wasn't changing. I was doing ridiculous things. That stupid fasting diet where you eat for 8 hours. And no wonder I was so tired. I got a B12 deficiency and just all those menopausal things, like you go to the doctor and you talk to them about it and they're like, oh, well, that's the stage of life you're at. And I thought, no, this can't be right. Like, this can't be it for me. Like, so all of this stuff sort of just snowballed and I got so depressed about it. And I thought there's got to be an answer. It can't just be you're 50, that's the end of your life. Just accept it, get better. So, yeah, that was the main reason.
Oh, you poor thing. I think you're so similar to so many of the women in our program in their 50s, like going through the menopause and not realising that all those restrictive diets are actually contributing to your hormonal imbalances and trying to cut sugar and cut carbs and, all the things that everyone tells you to do, but it only ever makes you worse. So I can only imagine how exhausted and frustrated you were.
And then it just snowballs, like it snowballs. You're tired and then you're angry and, and then you're sad and, you're crying for no reason. And then you're binge eating. And me, I was being silly with drinking as well, like because I was depressed and nothing was working out for me. I was miserable. Then, I was drinking a lot. Like I was drinking a lot more than I should have, like I'd starve myself all week, on my stupid 8-16 fast. And then to reward myself, I'd drink from Friday to Sunday until I had to go back to work again on Monday. So, and it just ends up being a vicious circle. It was crazy.
Oh, it is. And you're so right. It's so hard to like break it because you think that you're doing the right thing. You think that you're doing the right thing, cutting out the sugar and all that sort of stuff. Well, it's lucky that you found us then.
It was. It was
like, who's this bloody woman, Kitty, telling me to eat sugar and do all this other stuff? How long have you been in the program now?
6 months. So it was
6
June.
months. Yeah. Oh, awesome. All right. Well, let's talk about the results that you've seen so far.
Well, complete shift of like mood. My mood is completely different. Like I've got heaps more mental resilience than I did before. I'm not breaking down crying, like just stupid mood swings. I'm either ripping someone's head off or I'm crying, and I'm not like that anymore. I'm like really level. I've got a sex drive back.
Woohoo!
Awesome. Yeah. Things like sleep. Like sleep's still got a little bit to go, but I'd regularly get 7 hours.
That's amazing.
Like where I'm not exhausted all the time. I've got heaps of energy. I've had like cut down on my drinking, like something incredible. I had a couple of drinks on New Year's Eve. That's the first time I've drank in a month. Before when I went and did my food shopping, I'd hit the bottle afterwards. That was part of my food shop to go get. Now I don't even do that. So it's not something that before I was using that as a crutch, and I don't do that anymore. So Yeah, and that's really, that has taken me a while. It's really been sort of in the last month and a bit that it's really clicked in.
Mm.
But it's not serving a purpose anymore.
Oh, good on you. That's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, I think
And
though,
just feel much better. Just
yeah.
feel so much better.
And, I think, like people don't realize it's like, and you should be really proud of yourself because you come in, you've chipped away slowly because you've been doing what you're doing for 50 years.
Yeah,
6 months is actually not a long time. Like everyone's like, oh, 6 months, that's a long time. Like it's not actually, like compared to 50 years,
yeah, you can't undo
Mm,
50 years of damage in, like a 12-week program. It's
mm,
not going to work, and it's
mm,
unreasonable and it's not sustainable. And,
totally.
kidding yourself if you think that you can undo that much damage that you've
Mm,
done over so many years in
mm,
a short space of time. It doesn't work. But
mm, mm.
I'm surprised, though. I've surprised myself.
You should be really proud of yourself. You've been awesome. Yeah. And I know it's been hard and you had to really like face some, you got on that live with us, like Carol and I, and you dug deep and you were vulnerable and you shared, but then you actually took action, which is so
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and you have to. You can keep making excuses for yourself.
Mm,
And we can always find an excuse not to do things, or why it's hard and
mm,
all the rest of it. But you can find just as many excuses as to why you should be doing it as well.
mm.
So, but
Totally.
that as well, that was a habit of mine too. Like I would find lots of excuses of why I couldn't, didn't
Mm,
have time, too tired. Well, there's a reason for that because I wasn't eating properly. But
mm, totally. Oh, you've done
yeah,
really, really well. You should be proud of yourself.
thank you.
And when women join the program, they have a few reservations. And I'm sure that you probably would have had some of these concerns as well. They're really worried about doing it online. They think, oh, how am I going to, use technology, and how I actually ever do a eating and training program online? How have you found it? The support, the structure, the delivery?
Actually, yeah, I found it pretty good because I did think that to start off with. How do you have like somebody train you with weights, never done weights before, when they're not even there?
Mm,
But it's the making sure that you're putting in your videos, like you
mm,
can't get feedback if you're not providing the videos to be given feedback. So
mm,
I found it really good because I live in a regional area, so I don't really have access to that stuff anyway.
mm,
So for me to be able to access something online like this is an opportunity I probably wouldn't have had
mm,
otherwise. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are the same, that they're in a place, maybe it's regional, or there's not a lot of amenities or facilities or personal trainers and things like that you can actually access. So
mm,
there is a little bit to wrap your head around if you're not tech savvy, but it's,
mm.
after a while, now it's just second nature. It's
Totally.
second. There's not an issue. Like there's not an issue with it at all. And very quickly as well. I would say probably within the first 2 months, like I was down with the technology and it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem videoing or
Mm, mm.
any of that stuff. So yeah.
Well done. Well done. And women, the second one is that, they've tried so many other diets before.
Oh yeah.
And, they think that this one is just, they're really worried that they're going to fail this one. How is this different? Because, you've been in this 6 months and you're making great progress and you're not quitting. So how is this
Yeah.
different to every other program?
I think because it's sustainable. Like when you come across, and I know even just before I did this, I came across something that was one of those 12-week, you're going to have a bikini body in 12 weeks, but it's not sustainable. Like if you feel like quitting, like after say 12 months, 12 weeks, I had a bikini body,
Mm,
like
mm,
in 12 weeks, I can guarantee I would have quit that because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to knock yourself out doing cardio for 2 hours a week. Before that, I was doing, I was doing yoga, but I mean, I've done things like where cardio for an hour, 45 minutes a day, and not actually really seeing results and being so exhausted at the end of the
mm,
week that I
mm,
drink the whole weekend, and it's not sustainable.
mm,
Like you can't stick to it. Like
mm,
this, I've found is sustainable because I'm eating normal food.
mm,
Like I don't have cravings. I only have to train 3 hours a week minimum. If I want to
Mm.
do more, I can. But, and if someone had said to me, you only have to train 3 hours a week and eat normal food, I would have thought, get out of here.
Yeah,
How
fuck
does that?
off. Yeah.
But it works.
And have you noticed, I forgot to ask, have you noticed your body changing?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have. And, the first couple of weeks I did it, I noticed my skin changed. Like within probably about 3 weeks. Yeah. But I've noticed, I've probably put on 3 kilos, but I've lost about 13 centimetres all over. So I probably really need to measure again because I haven't done it for a little while. But my waist has changed. My back has changed. My butt, definitely.
We love big butts in this program. Yeah.
So, yeah, and, shoulders, yeah, you definitely start noticing it. So,
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. And the third one is money. So, a lot of women are like, oh, is it really going to be worth the investment? Do you feel like it has been worth the money that you've put into this program?
Oh, definitely. And that was a big thing for me as well because I'm a single mum, got income family. I was thinking, I hope this is not another program where it's, going to cost me a ridiculous amount of money. It hasn't. It's not. It was sustainable for me. And you've got options. There's different options that you can pick according to your financial circumstance. So, it's not beyond people. And really, if you want it, you can find a way of doing it. So, I actually made sure when I started, I thought, well, I'll quit drinking. That's $50 a week, which, didn't happen straight away. But I was trying to accommodate, how can I justify this? Because I knew that money was a big thing. So, but there's, where there's a will, there's a way. That can come down to another excuse that you use not to do it. So,
oh, well, that's so awesome. Oh, good work.
and it's not going to be that amount of money for the rest of your life. It's a gradual thing. So
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, the subscription drops towards the end anyway, so that the ongoing cost after the initial thing is totally affordable, I think, as an investment in yourself ongoing for training, nutrition. It's, I think it's, you wouldn't even get a PT session for that now.
Yeah, exactly. You can look at the pay for a personal trainer or, other programs, and just the things like teaching you why you're eating that amount and why. You get that at other programs. No other thing that I've tried is they give you a set menu, but you don't understand why am I eating that amount and at that time. You don't learn all those things. At least with this, you have come out of it learning what you need to eat, and you will notice the effect it has on your body. I noticed in the first couple of weeks that as much as I love pineapple, I can't eat it. That's not.
It is problematic for some. Yeah. The histamines. Yeah.
I never noticed these things before. So
you really get to know your body, which is so awesome because we teach you. We teach you how to understand what works for your body. So you got the power back. You got the power back. Yeah.
Right. And you can. There's things that you love that you can start eating again. There's plenty of things. I had convinced myself before this program that I couldn't eat red meat because I got chunky on red meat. No, that wasn't the reason I was getting chunky. Cheese. I have milkshakes just about every night. Who has milkshakes?
I love a good milkshake. I love my little me too with the ice cream and the new gel and the milk. It's so yummy. I'm gonna have a nice coffee after this, I think. Yeah.
Talking about it. But cheese, potatoes, brownies. I love the brownies.
So good, so good.
It's crazy. I never would have believed it until I'd done it, that I could eat more, train less, and my figure be changing.
So good. So good. Well, I can't wait to see where you are in another 6 months.
I know. I'm excited too.
It's so exciting. Oh, good work. And finally, if a woman was sitting on the fence about joining, what would you say to her?
Look, I'd say, if you've got all these sort of health problems and whatever, if this was one of your friends that came to you with these problems, and you know, what if the answer was 3 hours of training and eating decent food? What if that's the answer?
It is the answer.
You've tried all these other crazy bloody things that don't work, you know, like fasting and 12-week transformations and, you know, eating soup for 4 days, you know, things like that. Why could this not work? Like, there's that many girls in the program that it's got to be true, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, we got hundreds of video. It does. You just got to do it for long enough, and you got to not like quit when it's hard, because it does get hard and it challenges your beliefs, and you have to play the long game. It's not quick, but if you give it a good 12 months, you'll be way better and you'll be free.
It's like you said, you've got to unlearn some of those things, you know, like some of those things like, you know, well, I can't eat sugar. Well, like, yeah, you can. Like, you know, or, you know, I've got to live on spinach. Like, no, I think I've eaten spinach twice since the program.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but who wants to live on spinach? Like, that's not sustainable.
Fuck that.
We're not rabbits.
No, we're not rabbits. It's so blah. Maybe it was cooked really well with heaps of butter on it, it'd be better. But I totally agree. Well, thank you so much. Thanks so much for taking the time out, Tamalyn. If you're a woman and you're watching this and you're struggling with menopausal issues and you're exhausted and you just want to eat real food again and, you know, get toned and get into shape and feel good, click on the link below and you can book in a free consult with one of my coaches and have a chat about the WinAtLife program and how it can help you. So thanks again, Tamalyn, and I'll chat to you in the program.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Bye.